When the time came for me to decide whether to stay with God or return to my body, my knee-jerk reaction was to stay with God. But somehow I knew that wasn't the right choice. There, in the presence of the Creator, I wondered, could I make myself go back? Could I tear down the walls I'd spent a lifetime building and let people in? Could I at least try? God had loved me so completely, filling me with His light. If I opened my heart and released His light and love, letting it spill out of me and onto everyone within my reach, would it leave me empty? I didn't know. What I did know was that choosing not to go back and at least try would be to throw away the opportunity God gave me to impact the world and its people for Him. It would be akin to theft. Choosing not to go back would also make me less courageous, less wise, less loving, less prudent, less kind. Choosing not to go back meant robbing others of the gifts and talents I had to offer and the love I had to give. Choosing the easier path would cost me the incredible joy of living a life filled with purpose. I'd wasted so much time hiding behind walls that in truth provided little safety. There were so many things I couldn't get back, lost forever, because I'd turned a key and locked my heart away. I wasn't sure if I could go back and become who God designed me to be. That person to me seemed a stranger. Maybe I could just start by tearing down those walls. Once the walls were down, maybe I'd be strong enough to live in the fullness of God, each day courageously making my mark on the world, leaving it better than I found it. I could lift people up and try living a life that inspired others to do the same. Suddenly, the easy choice, staying where I was to avoid all the trials and heartaches of life, came into godlike focus. To stay would be an act of cowardice, selfishness. It would be beneath me. God revealed that at my conception, He had knit me together with His own hands, delighting in His work. I'm sure His thoughts were much like those of most parents as He imagined my life and all the good I would do. I'm sure He saw the tragedies and hardships that would befall me and knit in strands of extra strong thread to carry me through. My Father was designing me on purpose for a purpose. At my birth, He kissed my lips, instilling the breath of life in me, and whispered, "Go, child, live in awe, love in full. I've given you the spirit of a lion. When trials come, don't shrink from them. Stand tall, stick out your chest and roar, even when you feel you can't win, especially when you feel you can't win. Roar. You are a warrior. Show courage. When the battle comes, look to your left and to your right, then look behind you. You'll see the Lord your God has surrounded you with a multitude, ready to charge at your signal. Choose your battles with wisdom, and when the battle chooses you, remember who made you. Stand tall and roar. Focus your heart on what is just and kind and beautiful. By doing this, you will know when to fight, where to fight, and what weapons to use. Where there is suffering, use kindness. Where there is injustice, use wisdom and strength of character. Where there is chaos, use soft words and a level head. Most importantly, where you find hopelessness, give Him no sanctuary. If God's people lose hope, all that remains is defeat. When you hear the distant drumbeats of hopelessness, do not tarry. Awaken your troops and call on the Lord. Hopelessness cloaks his depravity in darkness, advancing his troops by night. Stand ready. Pull from your quiver the promises of God, and when the footfalls of hopelessness draw near, take aim and annihilate him. As your enemy falls, light will overtake the darkness. I am with you. I'm fighting for you. I'm crafting others to stand beside you and give you strength. You are never alone. I'm with you, even unto the end of the age. When God showed me how my life began, how He'd lovingly assembled every facet of my being, something in me changed. The bricks I'd stacked to shield and protect my heart from ever being broken again began to shake. I wasn't going to need a sledgehammer to tear down that wall. God was going to blow that Goliath apart with cannon fire. All I had to do was stand back, wait for the dust to settle, then climb that rubble and at the top of my lungs declare, "No more." I knew I would stumble and fall as I climbed that rubble. I knew I'd get hurt along the way. But I was done living in a prison of my own design. I was done acting as my own jailer. I was done cowering from life with half-hearted, half-living. I decided if I was going back as a new creation. No more would I believe the lies about who I was or what I could and couldn't accomplish. Never again would I look for encouragement for those who so willfully withheld it. I would no longer play the role of assistant to people who had subtly convinced me I wasn't enough. The days of my engaging in my own undoing were over. Would people find the new me strange? Perhaps. Would they call me crazy and remind me of every time I'd failed? Probably. Would I put out my wrists and ankles to again be shackled and shuffle back into my cell? No, not just no, hell no. Let the naysayers say what they will, but I was done living a life of defeat and retreat. Even if I had to crawl across that finish line, I was going to finish. I was going to live. It hasn't been easy. In fact, it's been harder than before. But somehow that light that God filled me with on the day I left my body in the emergency room and crossed the divide has sustained me. I am making a difference, and I want you to know that you can make a difference. You were designed to make a difference. Once you make that choice to climb the rubble and reclaim your life, God will send warriors to help you. So you keep going, keep pushing forward, especially when it's hard. Know that there are legions of angels in heaven conspiring for your good and cheering you on. I stand in agreement with them. My mother-in-law once told me, "Oh, querida," translation, dear one, "your spirit is so big, it shines all around you." She saw that and boldly declared it, even though I couldn't see it at the time. An angel in the flesh, speaking the truth of God over me. So stand strong and tall, my friends. Dare defeat to try and stop you. Stare him down and watch him cower and shrink away as you charge full on toward him. Use his shoulder as a foothold and vault right over the top of him, leaving him to proclaim, "Wow, who was that?" That was a warrior designed by the Most High God. Think twice before challenging her again. Next time, she'll be carrying your head in her hand.